Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your June 2018 general readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today and welcome to any newcomers. As always, thank you for your like, share, subscribes, and for taking the time to send in your support, feedback, and comments. Always welcome, always appreciated. Thank you. And of course, a big thank you to all of my clients out there, both regular and new, for keeping me so wonderfully and joyfully busy with personal one-on-one readings. And as most of you know, if you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, live or recorded, you can get more information and my contact details by either going to my YouTube channel's homepage and clicking on that little About button, or clicking on the description bar of the videos I post. You can email me directly at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. Turnaround time for personal readings is pretty quick because I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do. So I can usually get back to you within the same day or the first 24 hours of your initial contact with more information. And scheduling, scheduling can be anywhere from a few days upwards of a couple of weeks, but almost always within a 2-week period of time or so we can set up a reading for you. I do love and romance, career, work, and finance, channeled messages from loved ones passed on, 6 and 12-month overviews that look at what's coming in your life for the next 6 or 12 months, depending on how far ahead you want to look, reconciliation spreads, and relationship compatibility spreads as well. And gift readings if you'd like to give someone the gift of a personal reading. So email me if you're interested. We'll go from there. For quick answers to the quick easy questions, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy. That link is also included with my contact details. So let's move into this reading. This is for the water sign of Pisces. Our Pisceans are mercurial fluid fish for June 2018. General readings can be sometimes tricky because you're reading for a lot of people. The details and specifics and timing might vary a bit, but the energy and advice always remains the same. So try to watch your rising and your moon sign videos as well if you know them for additional clarification. All right, Pisces, let's see what June has in store for you. We begin with the Devil, followed by the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Lovers, followed by the Magician. We have the Hierophant, followed by the Page of Wands, and the Ace of Swords, followed by the Eight of Cups. From the bottom of the deck, your crowning energy representing overall guidance, advice, and focus is the Three of Pentacles. Looks like a lot of the signs are going through, you know, mid-year, I almost said midlife, mid-year transitions, which is normal and understandable. A lot of the signs so far, it looks like the first part of the month there may be some challenges and maybe feeling stuck or trapped or bound, some of you, and then the last half of the month you're kind of learning, there's this evolution, transition, lessons learned, moving on into great new beginnings. Pisces, it looks like teamwork and compromise and negotiation is kind of the focus for the month of June. So remember that in all of your interactions with people. Your crowning card representing overall focus, guidance, and advice is the Three of Pentacles. This is a card of teamwork, compromise, negotiation, everybody coming together to build something or to agree that something has to be accomplished. And so in order to do that, everybody's kind of got to work together. The artisanship card, everybody agrees that, you know, sometimes this card shows up when you have to work with another person or other people that you wouldn't maybe necessarily choose to. Everybody may not like each other or get along or have the same opinion, but everybody agrees that something has to be accomplished, whether it's, you know, a project, something that needs to be built, a resolution of a conflict that needs to happen. Everybody agrees that this certain thing needs to happen. So it's all about kind of coming together and compromise and negotiating, which really means that you have to focus on, for the month of June, Pisces, you have to focus on what's important, what's the main goal, especially when you may find it challenging to not get stuck on a certain point. Bring it back down to the fundamentals. What are we really trying to accomplish? What's the main goal in any kind of conflict in any area of my life, especially one that includes other people? And try to give a little bit, take a little bit, which is the foundation of compromise and negotiation in order to accomplish the greater good, the larger cause here. So remember that, particularly in all your interactions with people for June 2018. So we begin end of May, beginning of June, with the Devil and the Ten of Pentacles. So the Devil can represent some conflict. It does represent imbalance, and imbalance fundamentally means that the scales are not balanced. Things are out of whack. There's too much attention and focus in one area to the detriment of others, and this can be in relation to addictions, conventional addictions like drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, shopping, overworking, negative toxic relationships. It can represent strong temptations and vices. So the scales really being out of whack. What clarifies the Devil is the Ten of Pentacles. So Pentacles is earth energy. And in the tarot, this is earthly, practical, tangible energy, and it can often manifest in that earthly, tangible, practical, concrete part of our lives, like money, finance, property, resources, assets, etc. Tens represent completion, cycles coming to an end, a culmination point. The Ten of Pentacles has a strong connection to home and family. Traditionally in the tarot, the Ten of Pentacles was originally known as the inheritance card. So, I mean, for some of you, it may be dealing with inheritance issues. I mean, we have the Ten of Pentacles, we have the Hierophant, which is convention, tradition. You know, the Ten of Pentacles can represent family home, family money, family business, family estate. Some of you may be dealing with imbalance or conflict around you know, family money, family business, family estate, or something to do with, you know, division of assets of some kind, or a family business. There may be some imbalance there. I mean, inheritance, what does it really mean? It means a sense of abundance, prosperity, stability, and security because of what went into building it. The long, slow accumulation of something with time and effort and history. So it's built up into this sense of abundance and security and stability. So some of you, it may be, you know, again, it's a general reading, so the details of what it is going to vary depending on what's going on in the lives of everyone who's watching. Fundamental instability with something to do with some long-standing thing which may have, which has this connection to home and family or affects home and family, whether it's an actual inheritance thing, something about family property. It could be a long-standing job or marriage even as well, something which has been in place for a long time and a lot of effort and work has gone into building it up, and there's now some current instability about it and conflict with other people about it as well. But remember that your crowning card, that Three of Pentacles, remember that overall, let's remember what's really important here and not get caught up on whatever this instability is. Next to that, we have a very powerful combination of cards. We have the Lovers and the Magician, two more major arcana cards. And actually, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards out of 9 Pisces. So a pretty potentially significant month. Energies of God, Spirit, your angels, and guides, or the opportunities for significant changes here. The Lovers and the Magician. The Lovers is a card that can signify a soulmate relationship or a very connected, passionate relationship, a relationship that has a lot of heat and passion between the two people. The nature of this relationship in a general reading can vary, meaning it might be a love and romance relationship, it might be a friendship relationship, it might be even a close work relationship. Traditionally, it's probably something more on the emotional lines because it does represent a relationship that's has a lot of passion in it. There's a lot of connection here in it. Soulmates don't necessarily mean romantic soulmates. They can mean soulmates of a different kind, but there's a lot of passion and connection in this relationship. The Lover's card also represents needing to make a choice, or there's a process that involves making a choice that will significantly affect a primary or significant relationship. In the early tarot decks, the Lovers was actually called the Choice, and it showed a man standing in front of 2 women or a woman standing in front of 2 men. The implication being that a choice was going to have to be made that would significantly impact everybody's lives. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a love-romance relationship or you're choosing between 2 people. I mean, it might be that for some of you, but definitely a choice needs to be made, or there's a decision-making process which will significantly affect at least one primary relationship in your life. Now the Lovers is clarified by the Magician. I really like to see this combination. I mean, the Magician is a very powerful card. He's a very powerful individual. He's kind of the entrepreneur of the tarot. I always see him as the entrepreneur. It's a very independent, powerful energy. The Magician is who he is because of the road he's walked to get there. He's practiced long and hard. He's learned through trial and error, success and failure, triumph and defeat. And he's now at a place in his craft because of how long and hard he's worked where he now has the tools, the wisdom, the knowledge, the skills to manifest and create whatever he wants. It's about taking all of that knowledge and skills and life experience and tools and wisdom and determination and perseverance and manifesting it in an external way to create, particularly externally, whatever you want to. So whatever this choice or decision-making process is in front of you, Pisces, you have what it takes. You have what it takes to make the right decision. The Magician is sitting right next to the Ten of Pentacles too, so definitely whatever this sense of abundance and stability is that feels maybe threatened and unstable right now, a lot of effort went into building this up. So it looks like for a lot of you, this effort of compromise and negotiation is well worth it because of what you have invested in this so far. The other cautionary advice I want to tell you, because your overall guidance and advice is compromise, negotiation, people working together, finding a way to come to a resolution and a way to achieve what the very important primary priority is. The cautionary advice also, compromise and negotiation is about give and take. And if the Magician has a challenge as an individual, it is that sometimes his challenge is sometimes in working with other people because he's very independent. He's walked his own road. He knows what works for him. It's always worked for him. He has a hard time sometimes looking at other people's point of view or taking other people's suggestion because he knows what works for him. It's what's always worked for him. So why should he change? Sometimes he has a difficulty or challenge in compromising and negotiation. So kind of remember that that's kind of the name of the game. And for some of you, if this Magician energy isn't you, it could be another person that you have a relationship with, whether it's that romantic relationship or a close friendship or something else that you may be having some difficulty with or some conflict with. It may be a long-standing friendship because he's right next to the Ten of Pentacles, that there may be some instability. I get for some of you that this is actually a three-person deal, and not necessarily that you're involved romantically with two other people, but it could be, I think for some of you, I feel like there's a friendship with somebody and a romantic relationship with somebody, and somehow this conflict, this instability in one or the other has caused conflict within both of these relationships. There's definitely a way out of this, a resolution. Remember what's important. It's about kind of working together to achieve resolution. And resolution doesn't necessarily mean that you're all moving forward together in the sunset. I mean, sometimes relationships get lost, romantic relationship or friendship. Sometimes when we move forward, they don't always move forward with us. That may be the case for some of you here. I don't feel like the friendship may be one that some of you let go of because it's caused such conflict within a romantic relationship, but it could be vice versa as well. And just remember that this teamwork, this compromise, give and take, in order to do that, you really have to be able to kind of listen to what everybody's saying, what everybody's feeling, whether you agree with them or not. Remember, it's about give and take to achieve a resolution, because you are showing up, Pisces, as a person who you are able to make and influence the outcome of this situation. Because it looks like it's one that's caused a lot of conflict quite recently for you, but it's definitely resolvable moving forward. But you have to be kind of the diplomat here. And then now we have the second half of the month, the last couple of weeks of the month, and it looks and feels kind of really different than the first half. I feel like through this process, there was a lot learned, I think, on all sides. I think everybody kind of had a part to play in this, and a lot was learned, and there's this resolution achieved, and you're moving forward. And learning new things. It's almost like you're going back to school. You're learning something new about how how something is supposed to work moving on. And for some of you, you may actually be going to school or entering a new phase of learning, whether that's formal or just in kind of the life school kind of sense, because we have the Hierophant and the Page of Wands here. The Hierophant is a card of convention, tradition, walking the prescribed path. It can sometimes show up for marriage or taking something to the next level of commitment, responsibility. It can represent organized religions, large corporations, kind of doing the expected right thing or conventional thing. It can represent higher education and learning as well. And it can represent a mentor, because the Hierophant, he's often portrayed as a priest or a bishop, and it can represent a mentor. And that may be the case for some of you moving forward, because the Hierophant is also clarified and accompanied by the Page of Wands, which is the opposite energy. The Page of Wands is like the young person, the student, the apprentice, the messenger. It can represent messages and messengers, but it always represents being at the introductory start of something, because pages are just starting out. They have a lot to learn. The Page of Wands is fire energy. So out of all 4 of the pages, he's like the most excited and enthusiastic, and it's about, on an energetic level, the Page of Wands can represent starting over again at the new path, the slate being wiped clean, and you're just starting to build momentum. I sometimes get an image with pages, especially the Page of Wands, because he's fire, so he's the quickest, and of a puppy, kind of so eager to get out on his walk. He's stumbling over the leash on his own legs, but he's just determined. He's ready to start, like a clean slate and starting over, which I feel for a lot of you. It's not that whatever this turbulence and conflict in the past is forgotten. In fact, don't forget it, because the lessons learned were very valuable, and it's like you've hit another evolutionary curve and you're starting clean again. You may have a mentor, someone that's helping you, whether that's an actual, priest or counselor or therapist, or even a partner. And some of you, it's like you're starting over again. You're learning something different, and you may be recommitting yourself or committing yourself to a different and new level of commitment, responsibility, honest wisdom, and awareness. There's like this huge learning lesson, an evolutionary curve that you've gone through, and so you're kind of starting over again, but with these lessons in mind. At or towards the end of June 2018, we have the Ace of Swords and the Eight of Cups. The Ace of Swords. So aces, there's a lot of new beginning energy here. The Lovers represents making a significant choice, which means that there's something that you're committing to a deeper level. I feel actually, I just got that some of you are, your relationship, maybe a romantic partnership or relationship, there's been a lot of turbulence, chaotics, maybe some damage, some pain, but there's a new level, there's been learning, a new level of understanding and awareness on all sides as you begin to move through, and it's a deeper level of knowledge, awareness, and commitment that you're moving into, particularly I think in the relationship area of your life. Aces represent new beginnings as well, because they represent the number 1, so the start of something new, the beginning of a new path. Swords is air energy. It's mental, cerebral, intellectual energy. In the tarot, the suit of swords is the energy of what we think, what we believe, our belief systems, our outlooks, our perceptions, truth, enlightenment, wisdom, higher education, learning. It's knowledge. It's all about what goes on up in here. So this is the beginning, again, following the page. It's a new beginning energy. It's a fresh new beginning. This can be your epiphany, awareness, a new idea, a new perspective, a new way of looking at something, new ideas on how to move forward. Aces are kind of like a little extra fairy dust, a little extra, not that I believe in fairy dust, but you know what I mean, a little extra blessing in the reading. So at the end of the month, there's this new sense of heightened awareness, new awareness, a deeper level of commitment and responsibility to yourself in your relationship area of your life, and that's what enables you to move through and beyond and past this turbulence and this old way of thinking and perhaps old way of behaving and making choices that's no longer working for you. New ideas about that, because you are leaving it behind, and you need to. These tipped over, spilled out cups represent that he's tasted and drunk from most, if not all, of these cups, but he's made up his mind to turn his back on him because it's not what he wants. It's not his joy and fulfillment. They've turned out different than he thought. Disappointment, disillusionment in it. But he's made up his mind. He's leaving it behind. He's dressed for travel. He has his hat, his cloak on, his walking staff in his hand. He may not be entirely sure in what direction he's going in, because he's still surveying his horizon, and he's starting over again right next to the page. That's what he's doing. The page is actually looking at him. He's leaving this behind. He's starting over again. But he is definitively leaving behind what is not working for him, what is not making him or her happy. He has a new idea, a new perspective, a new knowledge. And knowledge and experience comes at sometimes some painful cost, but we can't get stuck in that. We have to take the lesson and move on, recommit with a deeper sense of awareness and understanding of ourselves and how we relate to other people in this world, which is what it's all about anyway, Pisces. And it looks like it's what you do. A beautiful month of growth, which does come out of some challenges, but that's life sometimes. It's actually a repeated message I'm getting so far with the signs in, you know, different ways, of course. Remember your overall guidance and advice, compromise, negotiation, which requires listening and remembering what's truly important, what you truly hope to achieve. So remember that as you go through the month of June, particularly in your interactions with other people. So Pisces, that pretty much wraps up your June 2018 general reading. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you found it useful and helpful to you. Again, if any of you are interested in a more personal, tailored just for you one-on-one reading, please feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you. You can find all my contact details by going to my YouTube channel's homepage, clicking on that little about button, or the description bar of all the videos I post. You can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy for quick answers to the quick, easy questions. And I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the June mid-month readings. And until then, as always, Pisces, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.